Bonjour, dear friends. I'm so lucky to be with Thane Knudsen, one of the most iconic winemaker in Napa Valley, with Raymond Vineyards and, of course, 1881 and Duran & Booth. We're going to tell you the tales of two American oak stories. So, Thane, are we about to try the famous Duran & Booth?
Absolutely. I've had the pleasure to take the head at two different Napa Valley cabs, one being the Duran & Booth Napa Valley cab, and the other being this wonderful 1881 Napa Valley cab. And I think it's a really cool story to taste them both next to each other because people get a totally different experience with the two of them.
So we're going to do side by side, tete-a-tete.
Ooh.
So Thane, you're going to
Let's
give
try
us
some of the Duran & Booth.
from a Heaven Hill bourbon barrel, which is so exciting. And dear friends, what is so unique about this story is the fact that Mr. Duran and Mr. Booth started the Oakville Grocery in 1881. They built the house where they lived, the Victorian house, the beautiful museum house, in 1874. And in honor of what they accomplished, in honor of their vision, we've elected to create a wine named Durant and Booth from those two visionary families. And this is the wine, Cabernet Napa Valley.
Absolutely. And what do you think of when you hit that wonderful Victorian house, but that you have arrived in Napa Valley? So when you're telling Napa Valley and you've just hit there, we really think that this is the first cab that you should try.
Fucking A, dear friends. I hate to be so French and so blunt. But this is one of the most innovative, crazy, insane, and maybe out of this world project. We're bringing American bourbon barrel into Napa Valley Cabernet. Are you insane?
Absolutely. I'll own it.
So what does make it so unique? Give us the description and then we're going to try 1881.
Right,
so we can compare and contrast.
You just said it, like you can look at these barrels right now. These are not your typical French oak. This is white American oak barrels. So it was actually used for the past decade, 12 years actually, for bourbon, American bourbon. And that really gives this wine a total departure from anything else.
Give us the taste.
So this is going to have that wonderful incense nose that comes from the way they toast the barrel, but it still has that really rich vanilla character that you'd expect out of bourbon, right?
God, I love it. Caramel, chocolate, licorice, a toastiness.
A lot of richness, but then there's this delicateness that's just wonderfully approachable.
What food are we going to have?
We have to go with barbecue. I mean, this is the tale of
Why
Americana, right?
Are you cooking?
At my house. Come on over.
Fantastic. I'm on my
Everyone
way.
should come on over.
We're going to have fun. So, Thane, give us the mouthfeel, and then we'll go to 1881 because, you know, you don't want to make one too jealous.
Right. Give everyone their due. So this Duran & Booth, I think of it having a very silky texture, but there's something extra. There's a kick to it that you don't get with just a French oak barrel. There's something extra, a structure to it that I think really holds up to a lot of richer foods.
And it makes you rethink sometimes aging and how we age as individuals, how wine ages as well, because I would have never thought. For that matter, American oak on cab, a few producers have proven that it works, and you're going to see it with 1881. And furthermore, with bourbon aged barrels. I mean, this is crazy. So this is 1881 Napa in honor of the heritage, the founders of Napa Valley. You know, this is the fabulous wine that, you know, welcomed the Museum of the History of Napa. And this is the basis. This is where
Very cool.
Thane really started before getting this insane bourbon idea.
This concept came first, and then we just had to one-up it with something else. But
I'm wondering and scared of what's coming next.
I'm not sure. Is your first child your favorite child?
They're all good.
They're all good. It's
I
hard
want to spank them all.
hard to choose your favorites. Just distribute that equally. 1881, you guys have to come see it, but it is also American oak. And when you're tasting these two side by side, it couldn't be more eye-opening, the wide range in character that you can get from the same area. And what really sets this apart, I think of it as a step up from Durant and Booth in terms of density. And this oak has really been tailored straight towards the wine industry. American oak has come so far over the past couple decades in what people expect it to be versus what it can actually deliver to your wine these days. And so when you taste this, grab a glass and you stick your nose in that glass, the richness and density that is there is really, really cool.
It's an invitation to sins. It's an invitation to going excessive.
Decadent, right.
Decadent, absolutely. Wow, it's deep, it's
That's
rich.
just on the nose, you know?
Just the nose. And what about if we put our tongue into it? Here she is.
That velvety.
Wow.
Velvety texture, but it still has that density on the palate.
Yeah.
So totally ups the game when you're thinking about a Napa Valley cab. I'd love to have this with something that's super dense and chewy and juicy, like a steak, a New York strip, something that has that nice toast on the, marbling and has that wonderful crisp outside and juicy center to it. It's just mouth-watering, and this is the perfect complement to that.
I'm a fan. Dear friends, you could see the difference. Durant and Booth in the oak barrel itself, and now the 1881 American oak, both Cabernet Sauvignon, both Napa Valley. Thane, you've done the hell of an exceptional job. You're a demon.
Whoa.
You are converted me to another way of looking at the world of cab and aging. Ooh la la.
I'll be the one confessing.
It's about time. We may have to stay here all night.